Hi everyone, welcome to Beyond the Evidence. This is the channel where justice matters. My name is Mark. I am a true crime fanatic, and I love to dig deeper into the mysteries of unsolved cases. Join me as we search for missing persons, uncover the clues in unsolved murders, follow along with jury trials, and we'll be a voice for the voiceless. I'll share with you the facts, the theories, the clues, the evidence, and the controversies that surround these cases. This is Beyond the Evidence. Hello, how are you all? I am back, and I have Andrew here somewhere with me. There you are. Look at that baby. How cute. Andrea, we are on episode 36.
Many, many more to go.
Yeah, because we have a lot to do after we read through all these things.
Yeah.
Hi, Gibbo. How you doing? Misty Free Spirit, thanks for being here and modding. Down Under with Love says, at the tail end of my second round of bloody COVID. I am so sorry. I hope you get better so quickly. Hello, Gibbo. Yeah, the bow is the cutest, Down Under says. All right, so tonight we have 3 depositions that we are going to read. These are kind of smaller, so we're trying to get through some and narrow down these depositions, because once we're done with the depositions, then we're going to start going through the discrepancies and things like that. And I'm going to work on getting some people on here to talk to us about Tabitha and her case. So just because the depositions are, I think after this we have what, 15?
After the 3 tonight.
Or 13?
3. Oh, wait a minute.
I think
12 or 13.
I was going to say 13, I believe. So once we're done with this, the 13 depositions, that's not the end. We're going to keep going. Tabitha will be dropped to one night a week. And then I'm setting up a schedule. I'm going to have certain cases on certain nights. And then other nights, it's going to be whatever I decide I'm going to talk about. Plus members only lives. So
I should know Friday what surgery schedule looks like.
Okay. And that may mean we may have to change Tabitha's day depending on what that surgery schedule looks like.
Right.
But I will let everybody know as soon as we find out. So, all right. So tonight we are going to read Kelly Hamilton's deposition. She is the mother of Jamie, and we read Jamie's deposition last episode. So this is only, what, 8 pages?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to be Kelly, and you're going to be the attorneys, as usual.
As usual. Per usual.
All right, you're kicking it off.
Okay, we are on the record. Present in the room is Kelly Hamilton, the deponent, Bob Alden, who represents Elizabeth Balser, Tipton County Prosecutor. Kelly, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Robert Alden. Kelly, where do you live?
115 Dearborn.
Who do you live with?
My husband and 4 children and my granddaughter.
And the name of the children and which one has the child?
Jamie Hamilton has the child. Then there is blank, blank, and blank.
And who is the name of Jamie child's father?
It is Nick Hall. Yeah, it's Hall.
You know who that is, right?
Yep.
Okay. Does he see the child much?
Actually, I don't want to admit he is the father. We don't know for sure.
Paternity hasn't ever been established.
No.
And she doesn't want to establish.
She doesn't want to establish it either.
Okay, what is Nick's reputation?
Not a good one. Not with me, anyways.
Not a responsible person, gets in trouble a lot, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
What would be his reputation about truth, about telling the truth?
Not very good. He has never told me the truth. So,
How long did they date?
a couple of months.
Now, Jamie was a good friend of Tabitha's. Is that right?
Yeah.
Best friends almost. Is that right?
Yeah.
How long have they known each other?
Since the 6th grade or so.
So did Tabi come over to your house sometimes?
Yeah, since like 6th grade on, she was there at least twice a month to spend the night.
Did she come over to your house after she got married to Michael?
Did she what?
Did she come over to your house after she got married to Michael?
To visit.
Oh, hang on. I just lost it. Hang on.
It's all right. I do it all the time.
No, like it. There it is. Okay. It like just went off my screen.
Oh,
Like maybe the internet bleeped out or whatever.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, to visit. And did she relate to you? I mean, as she got older, did she talk to you like a friend?
Yeah, we just like, that could be my daughter.
But she didn't talk to you like, I'm having problems with Michael or doing cocaine or drugs.
No, no.
She didn't share her troubles with you. Is that what you are saying?
No, just normal girl talk.
Were you ever questioned by the police about any issues?
I wasn't specifically questioned by them without me going to them about Michael Raines. I didn't like his behavior.
Tell me about his behavior and why you went to the police.
When her body was found in the creek, I had gotten off work at 3:30 and we had made prior arrangements with him to go out looking for anything to see if we could find her. Anywhere, and I found out later that he already knew that there was a body at the park and he never said anything. He hadn't told me anything about being out at the park, and I know for a fact he knew that.
How did you know?
Stacy, a friend of my daughter's, she had, this was about 2 or 3 months later when we all got to talking about things, and she had mentioned that she wasn't too sure of Michael either, because when she called about 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon, she said that he had told her he knew there was a body found at the park. And when I questioned him about it later, he said he never talked to Stacy and that conversation never happened. And he did not know that there was a body found out at the park. And I just...
So at 3:30 on Saturday, you had an arrangement just to go look, and did he show up?
I went to pick him up.
Hang on. It's gone again.
And I was the one having internet issues.
I don't know what's going on. Well, it hang on. No, it's like not showing pages 4 through 8. Wait a minute. It's page 7. Where's 4, 5, and 6?
It's there.
Are you showing? I was gonna say, are you showing 4, 5, and 6?
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
All right. Well, you do that. I'll read a little bit.
I was gonna say, just keep reading.
Say who said what. Okay, so Kelly, I went to pick him up. Alden, at his house? Kelly, yeah. Alden, and you guys went out and started looking around as if, of course, you didn't know anything about the park at that time. And yet the whole time you were together, he acted like he didn't know what was going on at the park. Kelly, at the time, I didn't think that he acted strange, but after thinking about it, he did act strange. And we checked here in town. I don't know what it was called over by Vesserland. We checked over
Desertland.
Viserland. Okay. We checked over by in there and we heard rumors about Liz Balser having something to do with it. So we went and checked the creek. Wait. We went and checked over. Oh my gosh.
Check the creek by the trailer court.
Okay. So I'm going to back up here. Okay, Viserland. We checked over by in there and we heard rumors about Liz Balser having something to do with it. So we went and checked the creek by the trailer court. And then we went by an old abandoned house, I think. It is 500. And then he wanted to go out to check some woods in Kempton. So we went out there. And I said when we came back into town, maybe we should go check the park. And he said he didn't want to go check Blackwoods. I can't remember what it is over behind Pizza Shack. There's like a little train track and stuff, but we never made it that far because as we were heading back into town, everybody was out at the police station and flagging us down. But before we even made it into town, and I asked if we should check the park, he said no. And after we checked Blackbridge, he wanted us to take him home. He had no intention on going to the park. I feel like he already knew that there was a body at the park, and I don't understand why he wouldn't tell us if it would upset Jamie. And in some way, because Jamie was 8.5 months pregnant. If it upset her later, he could have just said, I was afraid it would have upset Jamie.
Did you ever confront him like Michael?
That is when I confronted him.
He said, I honest to God didn't know anything about it.
He said he never talked to Stacy.
You still don't remember Stacy's last name?
Johnson.
No, Jay Rich says that.
Oh, yeah.
And then you say it.
Yep.
Okay, now let's talk about the days since Tabi was missing. I mean, everybody knew on Thursday.
We didn't find out until Friday.
Okay, well.
Nobody called us or anything.
Well, you found out Friday. When did you call Michael?
That's where we went Friday night. We went to his house. Jamie and I went looking before.
What about Michael? Did you say Michael when did you find out she was missing? Did he say, well, I came home Wednesday evening and she wasn't here?
He didn't talk to us. He didn't do no talking at all, really. I've never really dealt with Michael that much. Jamie, really, it was Tabi she had a relationship with.
Yeah, but no, you're concerned for Tabi and you're at his house and you're out looking for Tabi.
We were talking to Michael's mother. We are not talking to Michael.
Oh, you're not talking to Michael.
He's sitting there, but he is not answering any questions or anything. He's just sitting there staring off into whatever. He wasn't saying anything. The only thing he said to us was that he would like to go with us if we was going to go looking Saturday.
But he didn't say, I've been everywhere looking.
No, nothing.
Now, did you receive some notification from a girlfriend he had afterwards in the apartment there that he had something in the apartment that he wouldn't show her? What did April tell you?
She just told us a bunch of...
Well, first of all, how do you know her?
I don't really know her. I just met her that day.
What day?
It's been a month ago or so.
Who introduced you to her?
Jamie.
Was she afraid of Jamie's? How long had she known her? Was she a friend of Jamie's?
No, not really. She hadn't known her for that long either. She had some information Michael had beat her up. She didn't feel comfortable.
She just called Jamie out of the blue?
I'm not sure. You would have to ask her.
Is Jamie here?
No.
So anyway, you show up and meet April personally?
Yes, she came over to our house.
What did she say?
That Michael attitude was, and his behavior, and how he had told her that he had a box of things that he wouldn't let anyone get into, and he told her to stay out of it. And it is at the apartment or house, whatever he lives in now.
Did he take it with him when he moved?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to...
That is what she said.
Anything else?
She was going to act like she was pregnant or something. She was going to set up some kind of little thing to see if she could get something out of him. I don't know. And we haven't talked to her since.
Do you know where she is now?
I have no idea.
Apparently she moved. Do you know anybody who would know where she is?
Not other than what we was told before. Jamie had called the number that she had given us, and they told her she moved to Kentucky, or not moved, but visiting her sister or something like that.
Do you know who she was living with?
She was living with her ex-husband.
So the phone number is still good. The number that Jamie has, her ex-husband, still answers the phone?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Did you know Kyle Neff?
I talked to him a few times over at his house. We stopped in to see if we could get any information.
That was after Tabi was missing?
Yeah, it was sometime in December, he told us.
What did he tell you?
He didn't really tell us anything. He was kind of stupid acting.
Did you talk to Elizabeth Balser?
No.
Did you talk to John Yates?
No.
All right, I appreciate you coming in. That is the end of that one.
All right, so out of this, what do you find troubling out of this deposition?
That it hasn't been said before that Michael knew that there was a body in the park.
Right. This is the first time we're hearing that.
Yeah. And I didn't know that Nick Hall was Jamie Hamilton's baby daddy.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And if ever anybody's missed it, Nick Hall was Tabitha's cousin.
And you'll hear his stuff coming up here, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the whole... So, do you know who this Stacy Johnson is?
Yeah, I've talked to her on Messenger.
Okay. So why would she make something like that up?
I don't think she would. She was one of them. Okay, so you know the picture that we have of them going to prom?
Yes.
She's one of them in that picture.
Okay. It's kind of suspicious that he did not want to go to that park at all.
If you go to, I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay. Okay, so.
Ding.
Oh, that's my husband. Hang on. Will you introduce the next deposition and who it is and how they're related to Tabitha and Michael?
Okay, the next deposition or taped statement is of Paul Vasquez. He is a friend of Michael's and allegedly a friend of Tabitha's. We were told that he was there at the police department the night that the family was called in to identify Tabi's belongings that the police showed them.
Okay, I'm waiting for a response here. So Gene Long is who?
No, Paul Vasquez.
Oh, we're doing Paul Vasquez first?
Yeah. Do you have that pulled up?
Yep, hang on a minute.
You're fine. Paul Vasquez also lived in the same trailer court as Gene Long, as Elizabeth Balser, and Andrew Bush. Supposedly or allegedly, Michael went to Paul's trailer after they got done at the police department and was there for a day or two playing video games.
All right, sorry, just coordinating pickup.
You're fine.
All right, so you are going to be, who's BA?
Bob Alden.
Oh, that's right.
The attorney.
And I'm going to be Paul
PB.
Vasquez.
Yep. Are we ready? First of all, for the purpose of the tape, state your name. You will need to sit up a little bit so we can catch it all.
My name is Paul Vasquez.
And Paul, how old are you?
I am 22.
And what is your date of birth? About that.
3-3.
Where do you currently reside?
Currently reside in Burnettsville, Indiana.
Spell the city.
Just like it is pronounced. Burnettsville.
Burnett's, as in Bernetts.
Ville.
Ville.
Yeah.
And what is the zip code there?
47926.
Is that in Tipton County?
Nope, that's up north, Carroll County.
Carroll County. Okay. When did you move up there, Paul?
Little under a year ago. Little over a year. Something like that.
Did you move up there for work?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a truck driver.
Who do you drive for?
Tri-State Cobb out of Delphi.
Tri-State. And the last name is what?
Cobb.
C-O-B-B?
C-O-B.
C-O-B. All right. Have you ever been convicted of any criminal offenses?
I got a couple of misdemeanors.
What were they?
Assault and battery, underage drinking, conversion.
Was the conversion knocked down from a theft?
Right. Yeah. Knocked down from a felony to a misdemeanor.
Did you get alternative misdemeanor sentencing, or was it actually changed from a D felony to an A misdemeanor conversion?
It was changed, and I was given like probation and stuff like that.
And what year was that?
99.
And are you on probation now?
No.
You know Tabitha Raines?
Yes.
Do you know Linda Balser? Elizabeth Balser. Yeah, Elizabeth Balser, excuse me.
Yes.
Do you know Kyle Neff?
Yes.
And October the 2nd, well, do you know John Yates as well?
Yes.
On October the 2nd, were you with any of these individuals of 2002? That is the date just in reference that this, what? That is the date just in reference. That is the date Tabitha was last seen at her home.
I believe Yates was over at my house. I'm not specific on that. Around that time, he was pretty much over there every day. So at some point in time on that date, he was probably over there.
I think around 2 p.m. on that date, he called Adam Johnson. And I think at that time, they made arrangements to buy some drugs. Were you involved in that at all?
No, I wasn't. I didn't do drugs around that time. Hang on.
Okay, so
Time out.
Mm-hmm.
It was not Yates that called Adam Johnson.
It could have been. It could have been.
Huh?
It could have been both of them.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because Neff called Adam Johnson at like 5:30.
True.
4:30, 5 o'clock.
And this is saying
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, could be.
Okay, so you don't know for sure if Yates was there or not, but you think he may have been that day.
Yep, I think he might have been.
Do you know what time?
Just in and out. I don't know a specific time.
Morning or afternoon or night?
It would have been in the afternoon towards the night.
Well, soon after the event took place, were you questioned by the police?
Yes, I was.
And did the police ask you if you had seen Yates, Neff, and Balser?
I know they did at some point in time, but I don't know if it was directly after. It may have been a couple months or whatever, a couple weeks. I believe they did ask me that.
Did you see Tabitha that afternoon?
October 2nd?
Yes.
No.
There was a girl who came in. Her name was Shannon Hawks. Do you know her?
Shannon Hawk?
She apparently has a trailer right next to yours, or did.
I don't think I ever met her.
She said that she believed that afternoon there were 3 girls that came over to your trailer. One of them helped you wash the trailer. Remember anything about some girl coming over and helping you wash the part of your trailer? Some type of a gray car?
Gray car? No. I don't believe I know what you're talking about.
And you've never heard of Shannon Hawk?
No.
Did you live in the trailer park at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it was trailer 36.
I will get you the trailer number she lives in. Help you refresh your recollect. When did you first find out that Tabitha was missing?
I think it was the day before she was found.
Now, you're a good friend of Michael's, right?
He was good friends with my brother. He was more of an acquaintance growing up. He was always around my brother, and I mean, we got along and we're friends, but we weren't really good friends. He was more of a best friend to my brother.
What is your brother's name?
Gene Long.
Did you and Gene live together?
Yes, we did. We lived together when I lived in Canterbury. When he lived over on Armstrong, I lived with him.
Did Michael come over there after the body was found to your house and stay for a couple of days? Maybe that Sunday or Monday or something like that?
Yeah.
But it was Gene he was visiting mainly and not you. Is that what you were saying?
No, he comes over to visit me. I was in their wedding. He asked me to be in his wedding. He asked me to attend or to stand in for someone. I got to know him and Tabitha. I was just giving him my concerns and a place to sleep.
Okay, why did he come over to your place? Why didn't he stay at his place?
Because Jean had been over there previously and he was looking for Jean.
Had been over where?
My house.
So he came over to look for him and stayed for 2 days?
Yeah.
How did that happen? You go look for someone and you end up staying for 2 days?
He just I started talking to him and he just kind of stuck around. I offered him a place to sleep. He wanted to sleep.
Well, what was going through his mind at this time?
I don't know.
You say you were talking to him. Was he expressing anything to you?
Just telling me that Tabitha was, missing and all that. And just she had been found. I went up to the police station with him and my brother and everything. And just he didn't confide anything in me. It was just, showing his emotions or whatever. Just sat there and played a game, just hung out. We caught up a little bit on some things.
Hold up. He says, I went up to the police station with him.
Yeah.
Weren't we told Paul was already at the police department?
Write that down. That's something we're going to have to check into because I can't remember for sure.
I know that's what we were told.
I think that is, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, what you're telling me is that he didn't really show any emotion. Or are you saying that he did show a bunch of emotion and he needed somebody to be with? Or are you saying he just wanted to play some video games? What are you trying to tell me?
I guess he just wanted to be around somebody. I guess he didn't want to go home by himself. He didn't really come off wanting to talk about emotions and all that. He just came off. He didn't want to be alone.
Did he appear to be depressed at all, or was he happy? Same old kind of guy?
Not excited or anything, not really crying or needed a shoulder to lean on. It's kind of a little bit of both, I guess. Maybe in a little bit state of shock. I don't know.
Who else was over there during this period of time?
I think Wes Miller and Jennifer come in. I think at one point, and Gene might have come in before he went to work. Frequently, he did that.
Okay, Gene might have come in before he went to work.
He works third at Marsh, and he usually swings in and hangs out before he goes to work. He usually wakes me up in the morning when he gets off of work.
Does he sleep there?
No, he just visits there every now and then.
Oh, Gene did not stay with you during that period of time.
No, he didn't live with me at that trailer. He had moved into an apartment of his own in Canterbury, and he was dating my wife's best friend.
Who is?
Jean. They are now married and getting ready to get separated.
Her name is what?
His wife?
Yes.
Amber Peel.
Amber what?
Peel. Now Long. They got married.
Were you living with anybody at the time?
No, my wife we got separated. She went up and lived with her parents, and Wes was supposed to be living there, but he was still living with Jennifer. He was just kind of bouncing back and forth.
Jennifer is Jennifer who?
Jennifer Bowman is her maiden name, but hers as well is Long. It's my brother's ex-wife.
Had Tabitha ever been to your trailer by herself?
No, she has never been in my trailer.
Other than Michael coming over to be with you after Tabi's funeral, did you ever have any conversations with John Yates about this murder? Did he ever make any statements of confession to you?
No, I didn't even talk to him about it.
How about Elizabeth Balser?
She had come over one time after Tabitha was found, but she wasn't there to speak with me. She was there to speak with Wes.
What did she want to speak with Wes about?
I don't know. It was a private conversation.
All right. So did Tabi's disappearance or murder come up? Was it subject matter while you were there?
No, inaudible.
How about Kyle Neff? Did you ever talk to him?
No, I haven't talked to Kyle Neff in, I don't know. It has probably been almost 6 or 7 months before that. I had seen him up at the Cheryl's gas station. I went in there with my brother to eat breakfast, and he was inaudible.
How old is Kyle?
I believe he's the same age as me. We went to school together.
Right. That is what I was thinking.
Probably about 22 or 23.
Were you guys friends?
Not really. We were more social friends. He had friends that were friends of my friends. We just kind of, every now and then, we would bump into each other. Not really friends or anything like that.
What is his reputation as far as using drugs?
As far as I know, he liked to do some drugs and drink and have a good time and get in some trouble. He's kind of the troublemaker type, as far as I know. He had his previous stupidity moments in the past.
How are you different? What? How are you different, you than him? Does that make sense?
Well,
why do you think you didn't run around with the same group?
I just kind of kept to myself. I wasn't as outgoing. I was more laid back. I just did my own thing, I guess. If people wanted to hang out with me, that was fine. And if they didn't want to, that was fine too. I wasn't the type of person that needed to be around people. He was more outgoing, I would assume. He liked hanging out with people.
What did you hear about him and his relationship with Tabitha?
I had heard that they had dated once before and they were just friends and knew each other.
You knew that Michael, Tabitha, Kyle, and Amanda were friends, right?
Right.
And they did things together as couples, right?
Right.
Did Michael ever share with you that Tabitha had done a threesome with Kyle and Amanda?
No, I hadn't heard anything about it.
And did you ever hear anything about any other affair type relationship that Kyle might have had with Tabitha?
No.
When you went to talk to the police, did you say that you went with Michael?
Yes, I went up there with him.
What day was that?
I don't know a specific day, but the day she was found, they were up at the police station.
So you and Jean went up there with him?
Yes, well, he was already up there. We went up there shortly after him, but we were up there with him.
Why did you all go?
Just because they used to live down the street from us, him and his mom. We were kids, and we would just, come down to our house. Gina and I would go jump on the trampoline. We just knew each other for so long. We needed to go up there and give our support.
After, were you present during the actual interviews?
When
Michael talked to the police?
I was up there when they were pulling people in periodically and talking to them.
Did you talk to the police at the same time?
Yes, I think I did talk to them that night.
And what do you remember telling the police?
I just basically told them my relationship with Michael, and they asked me basically the same questions you are asking, just what I knew and all this and that. I had known Gary for a while, so I was just talking to Gary, was, just general stuff.
How do you know Gary?
We had met on a few occasions. He is a long distant relation to my father or stepfather. I just always kind of knew who he was. My dad talking about him and stuff. Time out.
There, that answers the question.
How did we miss that the first time? How did we miss that? So in this deposition, Mark, you are correct in what you've been saying, that he was a relative of Gary Stout. And
no, hang on. Mark has been saying that Gary was his uncle.
Oh, right. But it's not necessarily an
uncle. No, he's a long distance relative.
Say that again, you cut out.
To his father. Oh, sorry. He's a long distance relative. Gary is a long distance relative to Paul's father or stepfather.
Right. So that's how they're related.
Are we ready to go on?
Yeah.
All right. So do you feel you have knowledge whatsoever about any fact that would be of assistance to the state as far as their case is concerned?
No, I don't feel I know what you guys need to know. I just know the people who are involved and kind of just who they are and where they come from as far as background.
Were you with any of these people from either October the 1st until October the 5th?
With them as far as?
Literally with them, like we're together?
Well, Yates has been over to my house pretty much that whole period.
That whole week he was?
Yeah, he's been in and out.
Now, did you say that you and Yates were tight? Or was it Yates and Jean that were tight? Or why would he go to your house literally every day?
Because it was like a little bit of both. He started out as Jean's friends when they were really young. Then he started getting close to my family and, my brothers and siblings and whatnot. He was always there as like a little brother to me. He had been there with Jean since they were little. And, he grew a little bond with him. He is more like a little brother to me. My house is his house and he knew it. He would come over. It is not like he was mooching or nothing. He would come over, do some cocaine, and me clean.
Rather than talk about facts necessarily, let's talk about opinions at this point, okay? Everybody has kind of formed an opinion of what has happened. There has been a lot of rumors that have gone around and this and that. Knowing Yates the way you know him,
I know Yates very well. Yes, I do.
Do you think if he was involved and in something like this that he would have divulged with you?
I believe that he would. If Yates had something to do with by his own hand, that yes, he would have talked to me about it. I feel that if he was forced, like you said, that this is opinions, and I've heard rumors as well as everybody else, and I feel that if he was forced by threatening of his life to be involved, that no, he would be too scared to talk about it. That would be my opinion on that subject.
Okay, well said. There have been other people who have said that Yates specifically told them that he and other people did something really bad to somebody and seemed a need to express that to them. Why would he not have said that to you? Was he not as close to you as other people, or do you think that maybe this information may have been mischaracterized by people?
I think it was mischaracterized by people. I mean, I don't know, Yates kind of has a funny personality. He might have thought I would have looked down on him about it. He may have been a little too afraid to tell me if it were actually true. I don't know. He kind of just looked at me as a big brother. He didn't have any brothers or nothing, so he might have thought I would look down on him or judge him for it or something.
Apparently, he did buy some cocaine on this afternoon of October the 2nd. Did you know he was using cocaine?
I had heard that he was. He wouldn't do anything in front of me. He knew it wasn't part of my beliefs anymore. I had never seen him do it, but I heard he was.
So that doesn't surprise you.
No, it doesn't.
Did he, when you were with him on this particular day, and this is what's hard for me to believe, that when you were talking to Stout and you being friends with Stout, if you knew Yates this well, it would be particularly close to the event that would not have remembered whether or not he was specifically at your house on that same day and what time. If you told Stout that I would think that you would remember it.
Well, he just popped in so often. He would be there for 5-10 minutes and I gotta run and do something. He would leave and come back in 20 or 30 minutes, sometimes a couple of hours, and pop in and say, hey, what's going on? He was always in and out. I didn't allow him to smoke pot or anything like that in my house. He probably went home to do that and came back.
So could you tell the difference from when he was high and when he was not high?
Yes, I could. He had bloodshot eyes and he would seem a little bit more mellow than usual and wouldn't be so hyper.
Did he know? I know he used to date Tabitha a long time before.
Right.
Do you think there is any possibility that he would be driving around with Tabitha during that week?
If he did, it wouldn't surprise me. They did know each other. They did date, like you said.
The reason I ask that is that some people have said that they dated and apparently he said something negative about Tabitha, or Tabitha said something negative about him. So they had sort of an estranged relationship and they couldn't really hang out together, and it would not have been normal for them to be together.
All right, hang on. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Where were we?
Your line is Yates wasn't really a person. At the bottom of page 13.
Yates wasn't really a person to hold a grudge. He was pretty laid back. That had been quite a while prior to this. And he probably might have, or something. He could have, he could not have. He just wasn't a person to hold a grudge. Yeah, it did end a little sour, but a lot of relationships, when they end, it pretty much is sour.
Have you ever known Yates to be one-on-one with Tabitha?
Just hang out one-on-one?
Yes.
No, other than when they were dating.
Right. I mean, after she got married to Michael and all that.
No, I don't believe he would hang out with her one-on-one like that. I don't think he would shut her out from being part of the group.
Was he known to just drive around town in his truck?
Yes, he would. A lot of people around that town just like to cruise, just hang out and drive.
Who would he normally be with? Would he cruise by himself, or would he get a buddy?
Basically, anyone that was out. He would be like, hey, do you want to drive around? Depending on who was out then. If no one was out, he would cruise by himself.
Once again, going back to your conversation with Stout, closer to a time when you can remember specifics of days and things like that. Did he understand that you were a good friend of Yates?
Yes.
Yeah, he did question you in detail about exactly what times you were with Yates.
He might have asked me a couple questions about it. As far as I know, it wasn't something he would particular, just inaudible. I know every now and then he would ask me something about it.
I am talking about when you went in to talk to him and Michael was there. Tabitha's body had just been found, and it is a major issue, and obviously she had been murdered, and they are looking for all clues that they can. And I just can't believe that Stout, knowing that you are a friend of Yates, that he wouldn't question you in detail about if you had seen him or how he acted.
I don't think the first time we had talked to him, he mentioned it.
How about the second time?
I know as the case progressed on and on, he would ask more and more about it.
What did you tell him?
Just basically what I'm telling you.
So you couldn't be specific with him either? No. When you saw him?
When people came in my house, I didn't really look at the calendar. I am not really one up for dates and times and stuff. I know just when someone stops in, they stop in.
Okay, for a fact, as far as the statement goes, you know that Tabitha was never ever was at your trailer.
Correct.
When you were there.
When I was there.
You personally have no knowledge from direct conversations with any of the people that are charged in this crime of any type of confessions in any way. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Where were you on the day that she was missing? Do you have any idea?
I was probably at home playing video games. I pretty much just stuck around there. I didn't go out and do anything. I might have went over to my mom and dad's.
Okay, and Wes Miller and Gene were, and Michael were the main guys that came over to your trailer to visit, or were there other people that ran around there as well?
The main people were actually just Wes, Gene, and Yates. Michael would stop in every now and then. He wasn't there a lot.
How good of friends are you with Liz Balser?
She is more of an acquaintance. I knew who she was and her reputation. She knew who I was and my reputation. We just kind of would bump into each other now and then. Circle of friends that I had, circle of friends that she had would meet on occasions.
So you didn't really hang out together then, is that right?
That is right.
Let's go off the record for a second. Again. Okay, now in that same trailer park, there is a fella by the name of Andrew Bush. Did you know him?
What was his name?
Andrew Bush, a younger guy. He lived on the same actual street as Elizabeth Balser's mother's trailer, closer to the main road.
No, I don't think I know him. I mean, I might if I seen him, but I don't think I met him.
A younger kid. Have you heard of him since?
No.
Have you ever heard of Chris Baker?
No, I don't think so.
All right, that is all the questions I have.
Why don't they ask? Why are they always going off the record, for one? What's being said when they go off the record? And why are they just letting him give general answers? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I guess if you don't remember, you don't remember. But here's something that I have a question about. From people we've talked to, about this case.
Yes.
They have made it seem like Paul was one of the big druggies with everybody else.
Correct.
Now he says in here, he didn't do any of that stuff because it was against his beliefs. He wouldn't even let Yates smoke dope in his trailer. And Yates didn't tell him he was getting cocaine.
Right.
So is this dude?
That's why I said this deposition really bugs me.
I guess we need to look up and see if he's got drug charges.
Yep, I agree. Put that on our
That'll
list.
tell us.
Huh?
That'll tell us whether what we're being told or what we've heard is true, or if he actually is clean. But here's the thing. If he actually was doing the Explorers program like Mark says he was, he would have had to been clean. But here's another thing. I don't think the Explorers program, I think the Explorers program is only for high school kids. I don't think it was for adults. And he said in here he's 23 years old.
We're going to have to look into that too. Because he's 22.
Yeah. And I think the Explorers program is kind of like, okay, like at the fire department where Jordan and Bryce work. They have what's called the junior firefighters, right? You can only be a junior up until you're 18 while you're in school. And the Explorer program is kind of like the juniors program at the fire department.
Right.
So if he's only allowed to be in the Explorers program till he's 18 and he's 22, then he either had to be in the Explorers program 4 years prior or 5 years prior, or not in the Explorers program.
Right. And he said that he had some misdemeanors, which were assault and battery, underage drinking, and conversion.
Conversion, right.
Nothing about drugs.
Right.
Yeah, something about this whole deposition just rubs me the wrong way.
And I know also in the junior program at the fire department, you cannot get in trouble. You can't have any kind of charges that were pressed against you, or or that going forward. Because if you get charged with something, you're out.
That's how it is now, but was it that way back then?
Well, true that. Well, now I know the juniors program started in 2006 at the fire department. So, and this would have been 2002. So I don't know.
What are you asking, Ella on the prowl? Yeah, woot, there it is. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, are we ready to go to Gene?
Yes. Now Gene is Paul's brother.
Paul's brother. Are we ready?
Supposedly better friends with all these individuals, Michael and all of them.
Michael, Jonathan, all of them. Now, mind you, this guy is still in trouble to this day.
Exactly.
He's in Madison County Jail more than he is out. And it's always for possession of meth. Or beating his wife.
Yeah. Okay, so we are doing the tape statement of Gene Long. Hang on one second. Okay. All right, so you're going to be, looks like Jay Rich and Brad
Bob Alden.
Bob Alden. And I'm going to be Jean Long.
Jean, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Bob Alden. Jean, what is your address?
Columbia Avenue.
Here in town?
Yes.
Telephone number?
Blah, 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 blah.
And where do you work?
At Marsh's.
What do you do?
Night stock.
Did we get you up early today? Have you been up all night?
No, I have been up early.
How long have you been there at Marsh?
About 2 years.
How old are you?
21.
Jean, you obviously we are here to find out all the information we can from witnesses involved in the Tabitha Raines case. Did you ever talk to any police officers about some knowledge you may have?
Let's see here.
Page 2.
I wouldn't say knowledge that I have, but I have talked to police officers.
All right. So did they ask to talk to you, or did you want to talk to them?
They asked to talk to me.
Who was it you spoke with?
I spoke with Ron Huff, state cop, inaudible.
On different occasions or same occasion?
Different ones.
Who was the first one you spoke with?
Tony Frelly, or no, it was Ron Huff.
And when he contacted you, what did he say to you?
I really can't remember.
Well, just generally speaking, did he want to talk to you about something? Did he want you to come in?
No, he just asked me if I knew anything about it, and I didn't know anything specifically about it, but I knew Michael and Tabitha. I was best man at their wedding. I knew John. That was when rumors were flying around that John had something to do with it. Inaudible.
All right. Say again.
I knew inaudible. I knew John, and that rumors were going around that they had something to do with it.
How about Neff?
I know him, but I don't. Not on a personal level.
So what did he ask you about your knowledge of these people?
Nothing really. He didn't ask me nothing specifically.
So he came up to you and said, do you know anybody? And you said, yeah, I know Mike.
Well, he just asked if I knew anything inaudible.
And you said no?
Right. I don't know anything specifically.
I am just trying to relate the conversation.
Right.
He comes up to you.
He has been a friend of the family, and so he said, I think he talked to inaudible before he talked to me, and I guess was inaudible. So he asked if he could talk to me first.
Okay.
So he talked to me first.
And the extent of your conversation is what you just told us?
Pretty much, I believe so.
Did you say, well, all I know is Mike and Tabi, I was best man at their wedding. I know Liz and I know John, but I don't know Neff that well?
Well, I don't think I said anything about Neff.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we did. We talked about him and his girlfriend.
So then after just giving him that general information, then did someone contact you later on?
Yeah.
Who did?
I believe Gary Stout. It may have been Ron again. I talked to both of them at the same time.
Did they take a statement from you?
Not that time.
What did they ask you and what did you tell them?
Basically the same thing, but Gary was there this time. It was basically the same thing him and Ron talked about, only Gary was there this time. They asked a few questions. Really can't remember what they asked.
Were they wanting to know about the relationship between Tabi and Michael?
I don't really even know if we talked about that. I know that he just asked me a bunch of questions, and I don't know if they were trying to get me to say something that hadn't been inaudible. Then afterwards, he told me that is what he was doing. He was just trying to get information out of me that he didn't have. I don't know exactly. He was just asking a bunch of questions.
Well, see, what I want to know are the questions he asked, the general questions he asked, and what information you think you gave him.
Well, it's been so long, I really don't know.
You don't remember what you told him?
No.
So then you were contacted again.
Yeah.
So you were contacted 3 different times to give information about something that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And did you think this was like a pain in the butt? I mean,
yeah, I still think it's a pain in the butt.
why are calling me in here? I don't know anything.
Right.
Is that your attitude?
Well, I just figured I was close to John, and he was obviously a suspect.
But let's talk about relationships. You were close to John in what respect?
I have known him since 5th grade. He has been my best friend since I moved to Tipton.
And who all did you hang out with?
Who all did I hang out with?
John was a good friend of yours. You hung out with him.
Yeah.
Did you have any other friends that you and John were together with quite a bit?
No, I don't think so.
Was JJ a friend of yours?
JJ?
Is there a guy, JJ Reed?
I don't know him.
You don't know him at all?
No.
How about Wes Miller? Are you a friend of his?
Yeah, I knew Wes before I knew John.
Did you ever hang out with him?
Yeah.
Did you ever hang out with Paul?
Paul's my brother.
Paul Vasquez is your brother.
Yes.
So those were other people that you would be with also then?
On occasion, yeah.
Did you and Paul live together?
No.
When were you married?
I don't know, last year, June or something.
Did you and your wife then get your own place?
We lived together for 2 years before that.
Would you hang out with John on
occasion?
On occasion.
Yeah.
What would you guys do?
Just hang around. I worked 3rd, so I didn't really have time to do much.
Did you do drugs with him?
Used to, a long time ago, before I got with Amber.
Did you know that he dated Tabi?
Yeah.
Do you know how their relationship ended, whether it was a friendly relationship or not?
Yeah.
What would be your take on it?
I would say it was what she wanted to happen. I mean, from what he says, they broke up. She told him that she was pregnant and that she never really was, as far as I know, unless something happened or she has something done. I just know that John and Tabitha's mom didn't get along at all after that. I don't know as far as their relationship.
Okay, I am trying to be a little more specific now. I have heard from other witnesses that they dated, that they broke up, that Tabi heard that John badmouthed her or something, but for whatever reason, Tabi and John never really were with each, and they didn't really want to be with each other after that time. Is that accurate?
As far as I know.
Did John ever talk to you about being with Tabi?
No.
He never suggested to you that he was ever going to be with her?
No, I don't think.
Someone said that they saw John and Tabi in the same car the night that Tabi was missing.
Yeah, Derek Boyd said that.
So when you heard that, what was your feelings about that?
I didn't think that he knew what he was talking about.
Okay, see, I don't know. I don't live here, so I don't know the personalities. But I did have a time of my life when I was with people, younger people, and understood friends, and we would talk and this and that. What we are looking for is for information that you would know based upon your friendships and relationships with other people that you might be able to give us here so we can have some insight on the truth or non-truths of some things that other people said. You indicated that you felt that he probably didn't know what he was talking about. So let me dab into your head a little bit and say, why did you think that?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't see John hanging out with Tabitha, even tolerate. If Tabitha had been in the truck with someone else, I don't think John, if Tabitha had been with somebody else and that somebody else had wanted to get in John's truck, I think he would have made Tabitha walk first because I don't think he wanted anything to do with her. I mean, just by what he has said to me, it's the way he felt about her actually. Inaudible.
How many days a week, like right before Tabi became missing, how many days a week would you say that you would see John? How often were you talking to him?
I didn't really talk to him often.
I mean, I am talking about in October of 2002.
I hadn't really been talking to him a lot. I don't know how much I had been talking to him.
Now, after this happened, John was a suspect. Do you know that?
Right?
Right? And so did you ever talk about the fact that he was a suspect? And did you say, John, what is this all about? Or anything like that?
Not really. I mean,
when you say not really, does that mean yes, you did, or no, you never did?
Well, I'm sure it came up a couple of times, but never really talked to any extreme about it.
Well, just say anything you would have said, even if it's 3 words. What was said?
The only thing that he ever said, if I ever even asked him about it, is I didn't do anything and I don't know anything about it. That is all he ever said.
So you all never talked about where he was the night she came up missing?
He told me, but I can't remember what he said. He has told me where he was, but I really can't remember what he said.
Now that we are talking about this, does this jog your memory about anything that Stout may have asked you during your questioning?
No.
He didn't ask you any of these questions?
No.
Now let's talk about Mike and Tabi. I knew you were best friends, best man in their wedding. Did you stay in touch with Michael?
No. Me and Michael have been fighting for a few months before Tabitha disappeared.
And why is that?
He kicked my car.
Why did he do that?
Because he got pissed off.
Why was he pissed off?
Because something that I had said to him at work, he wasn't inaudible at the time.
What did you say to him?
I don't know. I really can't remember.
Well, I mean, did you accuse him of something or?
No, I probably called him a lazy bastard or something like that.
When you were working with him, was he wasn't working at Marsh in October of 2002, right?
No.
When did he stop working there?
Shortly after he kicked my car. The day after he kicked my car, a few months before all.
So the summer sometime then?
Yeah.
So do you know anything about, did he ever say anything to you about the fact that him and Tabi were having problems and he wanted to divorce her or leave her or anything like that?
I just heard rumors about it and all that.
He never said anything personally?
Never said anything personally.
As far as Liz Balser is concerned, did you ever hang out with her a few weeks before Tabi was missing?
No, I hadn't talked to her probably a month before she...
You hadn't talked to her?
No.
Did you ever talk to her after Tabi's body was found or any discussion about the fact that she was a suspect?
No, there was no discussion on it. If I would run into her or something like that, I would be civil to her, but I really haven't hung out with her for a couple of years. Inaudible.
How would you describe Liz?
I really don't know how to describe her. I really don't know. I really can't describe her. What?
All right. Right. All right. I don't have any further questions.
I was talking to one of the Nelsons the other day, And the way he described her was like, he said, wannabe thug. I don't know if that goes with her.
Okay, now Jay Rich is questioning.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know.
Well, what do you think it meant? Want to be thug?
Like, I want to be a thug. Try to act like, but
But
oh,
what is thug? Is that like badass?
something like that. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean something like that?
Well, it is a lot like that.
About like badass?
Yeah, like badass. Yeah, a lot like that.
Gene, when you talked to myself and my investigator probably a month ago, do you recall me asking you the same question? How would you describe Liz? I know you were asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Would you have any reason to doubt that you said that you knew that she had an attitude?
Oh, yeah, I know she has an attitude for sure.
And do you recall saying that she had a short fuse?
Yeah.
And do you recall saying that she, a lot of little things, set her off?
Probably did.
What did you mean by that?
What?
What did you mean by little things set her off?
I can't think of any. I'm trying, but I can't really think of anything. Inaudible.
When you say you know she has,
I know she has.
because you have seen it, or have you heard it?
Yeah, probably inaudible. She used to come over to my apartment all the time, and that has been a couple years ago, though. Probably a couple years ago. But yeah, inaudible.
You told Mr. Alden that you hadn't talked to Elizabeth for a few months before or after Tabitha's murder.
I had talked to her, but I hadn't discussed anything with her. I know I had seen her at my brother's trailer once.
But other than that, you hadn't really hung out with her.
I had hung out with her. I don't know for sure. Inaudible.
Does the same thing apply to Yates? Had you really not hung out with him a few months before?
I would see Yates like up at his house if he asked me to, but it was at his house or something like that. He probably had been over to my apartment a couple of times too.
For lengthy periods of time?
What do you mean?
How long?
How long did he stay?
Yeah.
He didn't really stay long. An hour, maybe a couple hours.
So you really hadn't had any occasion prior to Tabitha Raines coming up missing to talk to him at length about anything?
Not inaudible.
Now, when you say that Tabitha and John had broke up and she was pregnant, but not pregnant with his baby.
Well, I don't even think she was pregnant.
Do you know for a fact whether she was pregnant or not?
No, I don't know for a fact, but I remember.
And you said John Yates said that she was looking for an excuse to get back together?
She was mad because he left her. I don't know if she was trying to get back together with him.
What I am getting at is in regard to all of that, breakup, whether she was pregnant or not, whether or not she was looking for an excuse to get back together. Had you talked to Tabitha about that?
No, I didn't really know Tabitha then.
So you just talked to John?
Yeah. Thank you, guilty of crime.
And that is what John told you?
Yeah, I don't even think I had met Tabitha then. I didn't know Tabitha until after her and Michael got married.
That's all I have. I do have one more question. I am sorry. No, that's all. Thank you.
Those are the dodgiest 2 depositions I have ever heard in my entire life. There is something really wrong with those. And why didn't they grill him more about Michael?
Why didn't he ask any legit questions?
Right.
Why did he kick your car? What pissed him off? How long did he work there? When did he quit? Was she pregnant or not pregnant? Never said anything about going to Paul's trailer.
No.
Are we done?
We are, but I don't get those two depositions at all. These are two individuals who stood up in Michael's wedding.
And they didn't even ask about Michael's attitude or disposition, or he didn't even ask Jean, well, how did you think Michael was after finding out that his wife was gone, had been murdered?
That's what I'm saying. These are the two closest people. Well, one of three to Michael. Why didn't they grill them more on Michael and Tabitha's relationship, what they heard, what they saw, and things like that? I mean, they basically let these two individuals get away with not saying anything at all.
Right. We do have a deposition from that Shannon Hawks.
Well, that'll be the next one we read.
Paul's neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, and we need to read Wes Miller's next too.
Correct. I agree. So, Thursday night, because you're busy tomorrow night. Thursday night.
We're celebrating Bryce's birthday.
Yep. Thursday night is going to be the next live for Tabitha, and we are going to follow up on Shannon Hawks and Wes Miller's depositions.
And we could do one more because that's not very many pages.
Okay. So we'll put a third one in there. I think
we could do Jennifer Long.
We could do Jennifer Long. There you go, because that's
Jean's wife.
Their mother. Yep.
No, that's Jean's wife.
Or Jean's wife, yeah.
I believe.
And then I think what we're going to do is next week, on Monday, we're going to bring, if Mark's available to come on, we're going to bring him on, and we're going to do a question and answer. So anybody from the audience who has any questions on the case can ask any questions, and we'll answer them. If we don't have any questions, then we'll just read more depositions. But I want to give the audience an opportunity to ask any questions they may have. Because I know a lot of people watch this after the fact. Now, if you have a question,
I'll be right back.
And you don't want to ask it in the chat on the live stream because you use your regular name, change your name on your YouTube channel to something fictitious. Or beforehand, go to the Justice for Tabitha Facebook group and anonymously put in your question. And like I said, if nobody's got questions, then we'll just go on and read the next set of depositions that come up on Monday. And Tuesday, we will definitely read more depositions. Because I'm going to try to stick with the Monday and Tuesday schedule for Tabitha until we're done with these depositions. I apologize about last night. Not much I could do with this crazy weather this year and losing internet and then power on top of that. So,
And
I know that Indiana's been suffering from a lot of crazy weather too. So, everywhere.
Yeah, we're supposed to have rain or storms tomorrow all day.
Yeah. But all right, so we are going to be back with Tabitha's story on Thursday to make up for yesterday.
Something just exploded in my microwave.
That's crazy. Mark, are you gonna be available Monday to come on live and help answer questions if anybody has questions? I know that you've been really busy with work. But I will work that out with him and
Did he get off?
I don't know.
He hasn't commented in a while.
Well, he just commented, but he kind of does things and listens at the same time.
Oh yeah, there he was.
I
missed that one.
Yeah. All right, everybody, that's the plan.
Plan schman.
And I have not decided what my topic is going to be tomorrow night. I have several cases that I've researched, so I'm just gonna pick one of them and talk about it.
What time are you going live tomorrow?
I have not decided. I have to look at everybody's schedule. Right now, all the schedules are written on the board because my daughter has her schedule, my son has his, Andrew's got his, and I've got to make sure that if pickup times are needed, we can make sure that that's all covered. So
I probably won't be home until 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, I mean,
your time?
Yeah.
Who knows, if I get to bed before 2 or 3 a.m., I might just do it tomorrow afternoon too. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm leaving here at about 5:45, 6 o'clock my time.
Okay.
Because I have to run to the store before I go to the mama's.
All right. Will you tell Bryce I said happy birthday?
Well, his birthday's not actually till Friday.
I know.
But the little twits are all going to Florida.
I know.
Leaving Friday morning, I think. Or tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know. It's either Thursday or Friday they're leaving. So okay, I got to go get
glad too. All right.
I got to go get my grandbaby snuggles in because I won't see her for a week.
I know. You can always FaceTime.
Yeah, they'd be too busy.
I know. They do really go when they go on vacation. So, all right, everybody. We will see you. I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Andrea and I will see you on Thursday for the second part of Tabitha's story. Have a good night.
37th part.
Yeah. Episode 37. Bye, everyone.